And time for a talk of the town today here on AM 1390 KRFO, the last week of winter. Yeah, we kick it off on Sunday. It's spring. Fair manager Jim Gleason joins us. You sound surprised. Spring is coming, you know.
That's right. That's right. God, that's right. I think I did hear that, Lauren, that it arrives later this week or this Saturday. I think it is, or Saturday or Sunday.
Whatever, it's coming.
That's good. It's been a pretty decent winter, hasn't it? Not bad.
Yes, it has. And some things you want to talk about, not just the fair, but of course coming up later on this week, the Fair Building Fund, a special dinner. It's going to be a fish dinner coming up Friday.
Yeah, Lauren. Thanks for having me in too. It's always good to get back over here. And Hy-Vee puts on a supper for us every March. This will be actually the fifth year of doing this supper over at Hy-Vee. It's always in March, right around the farm show, which is of course this week as well, and St. Patty's Day. But we moved it to a Friday night rather than doing our traditional Saturday night supper. Talked with Mike over at Hy-Vee. He said, well, let's try a Friday night. So we're doing it for the Hy-Vee seafood night. It's this Friday from 4 to 7 in the Hy-Vee casual dining area right over at Hy-Vee Foods here in Owatonna. The menu is baked cod, pasta choice, bay scallops, swai breaded fish, hush puppies, veggies, mashed potatoes, and coleslaw, all that for $9.99. And of course, the fair gets a portion of the proceeds out of that $9.99. So, and Mike's being very generous with that, and Hy-Vee over there. There's also a kids menu for 10 and under, and that's $5.99. And again, that's serving from 4 until 7 o'clock. That's this Friday over at Hy-Vee Foods here in Owatonna, and trying a little different approach. And of course, as before though, the different fair board members will be serving up A&W root beer floats again for $1.
Okay. And take home? You have take home too?
Oh yeah, I'm sure they'd have takeout. Sure, that people could take it to go, which I know a lot of people did previously at those other suppers. So, and the fair board enjoys getting together and just talking with people. And there's probably a few questions as what might be going on and different things happening at the fairgrounds. And we sell quite a few of the root beer floats, and they're kind of a nice dessert thing or whatever for $1. Pretty good deal. So that's what's going on there. Not really too much more, I guess. That's probably enough. We don't have any raffle things we're selling or anything like that this year. But and of course, all the profits go toward the SCFF Building Fund. Now, maybe people kind of will ask what the building fund is. Does it go toward the pavilion? Well, yes, it could go toward paying off the Radel Pavilion loan. But we know that with that building and some other buildings that we have to upkeep, and that's what kind of the building fund is earmarked for, and so we try to keep that rolling along.
Okay, and again, that's going to go for the building fund, and again, that's 4 until 7 o'clock. Some other things happening. Could you still get a booth for the fair coming up in August?
Oh, sure. Maybe I'll just finish off on the building fund thing here, Lauren. First of all, we had our barn. This is kind of the supper's kind of an offshoot of, kind of our fundraising. We only do a couple fundraising things during the year, but we had a pretty successful barn dance. We raised almost 10 grand at that in September. So then after that, we did a mail campaign. We hadn't really done a by mail campaign, so we did 1,300 letters that went out to individuals in the area. In November and December, we also sent to some companies. So since we started that fundraiser and since October 1, which started our fiscal year, we've raised between $7,000 and $8,000. So not too bad a figure. What our pitch is, any donation of $100 or more, people would get their name put on a nice banner that we have hanging in the Radel Pavilion. We had it this last year, and we just continue that. That's people that have been involved with the barn bash or the barn dance or whatever, people that have donated. And now we've got a number of $100 donations, and so those folks will get entered in on that banner, and we sure appreciate the support. And so this is, I guess the supper will kind of culminate kind of that fundraising. We'll see, if we raise a few more funds. We did send out letters to our vendors when we sent out our vendor licenses. We call them licenses this year rather than contracts, Lauren. So we put some, and we've gotten a couple of vendors that have donated and some companies as well. So we have, long story short, we just appreciate all the support from the community. And again, it's not a hard sell at all, but a lot of people have a lot of love for the fair, and we just appreciate appreciate the support because, boy, between insurance and upkeep and building stuff and different things like that, it does cost us a lot of money. And so we're just trying to, and of course, we didn't have a banner year, let's say, this last year with the rain. Hey, when it was nice, people were there, but, we had some rain issues this last fair. So hopefully we won't this year, Lauren.
And nice menu coming up Friday, too. You got a selection. You got the baked cod and the scallops and the breaded fish. So a little different than some things you find somewhere else.
Yeah, and a pretty big meal, I guess, for $10 and everything. And so hopefully people will come out and support that and, get it to go if they want. That's fine. And always good to just see some folks. And I just like to kind of keep a little, that's why we kind of do it this time of year too. I kind of like to keep the fair out in front of people and just, it's kind of the long winter done here. And, like you said, getting to spring, and spring makes you think of nicer weather, maybe makes you think of the fair. And we'll get things going over at the fairgrounds fairly soon here. With, of course, the farm show starts this Thursday over there, and that's kind of the first big event after the winter here, I guess. So we'll get things going, and yeah, it's just good to get out and see some folks that come out, and we appreciate it, like I said.
What are you working on now as far as getting ready for the fair? About this time of year, what are you mainly focused on?
Well, I'm still working on finishing up my sponsorships. I have a few of those to go. I have probably about 130 sponsorships that we have from different businesses in the area, and we're whittling it right down there. I start on those in October and just kind of plug along. And again, I certainly appreciate if you're listening out there and you're a business that's a sponsor. I want to thank you again, for your support of the fair. And it's good working with all of them because, of course, a lot of the folks I get to work with, I worked with here at the radio station when I was in the advertising business. So it's good to keep up those relationships, Lauren, and people are real receptive to it. So I've been working on that. And then we sent out our vendor licenses. We sent those out about right toward the end of January. Had our first big rush that came in before. If you get it in by postmark by the 1st of March, you get a bit of a discount on your vendor booth. So got that first rush in, and now they'll keep coming in, and we'll start looking at applications. Our concessions committee is going to meet here in about another week, a little over a week. Got a number of vendor applications for both food vendors and indoor and outdoor vendors that would like to come to our fair, and so we have to give our people that indicated they want to come back from last year, we have to give them, they really have until May 1st, Lauren, to get in their licenses for this year's fair. If I haven't heard from them by then I've got a right to sell their spots. So kind of been working on that, and working on our newsletter, the meal here, and of course we're talking about working on some fair stuff. Todd's been working on entertainment. The grandstand committee has. We've got quite a few things in line there, and so but still working on a couple things.
Okay. Well, I think usually January, is that the month usually you go off to some convention to kind of check out talent?
Right. We've got the state convention. That's the Minnesota Federation of County Fairs, the State Fair, and the Midwest Showman Association. They all have their convention up at the Doubletree up in Minneapolis in January, or actually in Bloomington, of course, right toward always the coldest weekend of the year, which it was again this year, Lauren. Right. It was real cold that weekend, but yeah, we have it up there, and we actually found a couple of real good musical acts up there this year that we will have coming to the fair. I'm not going to quite let that all out who that is yet, but some good musical acts up there, and I always get together with my lumberjack show fella, and that'll be back again. Had talked with Kevin Vogel from the petting zoo and the pig races, of course, which the radio station's a big part of, and they'll be coming back again. He wasn't at the convention, but he's doing his thing up with his wildlife park up by Brainerd. But talked with him, and the convention's a good place to look at some entertainment, maybe get some ideas on some attractions that are up there. So we did that, and came back. It was a good meeting.
Yeah, and you mentioned the pig races. Some things just people want to see every year. I remember when they first did it 23 years ago, it was like, well, we'll do this once. I don't think I know nobody here even fathomed that it would be going 23, 24 years. And just like the lumberjack show, that's sort of getting a tradition now too. Right.
And I remember when those pig races started, and I think there was one different race group that came one year, and then Kevin Vogel started coming the year right after that, and they have big crowds there and everything, and I go by there and check it out during the fair, and there's always big crowds at both those events down on the east end of the fairgrounds. So so they're good. And speaking of having people will come to see it again, we are having Hairball back again on Thursday night in front of the grandstand here again. maybe switch up. But now that's become kind of a tradition for them to play on Thursday here. We had over 2,000 people at it last year, and they put on a great show at last year's fair. And so we've got them back on board for Thursday night. And I guess I can run through the grandstand entertainment quick, Lauren.
Sure, go ahead.
Bull riding again on opening night on Tuesday night. Wednesday night we're still looking to fill. We will have the Battle of the Bands. We'll be in front of the grandstand as it has been the last 2 years. That'll precede whatever music event that we line up. We're working on a few things, and so still see what happens there. Hairball Thursday night, Truck Tractor Pull Friday night, Antique Tractor Pull Saturday morning, and then the Enduro Saturday evening, and Demo Derby at 4 o'clock Sunday afternoon, staying with those same events because, again, they do good. The motorsports still do good for us, and people come to watch them, and so we stay with them, and we like to put on a good show for folks.
Okay. Fair Manager Jim Gleason from the Steele County Free Fair. Again, let's just kind of remind people again, coming up Friday, it's another Building the Barns or Building Fund fundraiser. Talk about that again. Right.
This Friday, Lauren, 4 to 7 over at the Hy-Vee Casual Dining Area at Hy-Vee Foods here in Owatonna. Partnership with Hy-Vee, $9.99 baked cod, pasta choice, base scallops, sliced breaded fish, hush puppies, veggies, mashed potatoes, and coleslaw. Boy, that's a big meal for $9.99, and kids 10 and under $5.99. The fair board will be serving up A&W root beer floats for $1. Goes toward the SCFF Building Fund, and we just want to invite folks to come on over and join us over there and say hello, and want to find out anything about the fair or have any questions on anything. Yes, we are working on still looking at some renovation of the track, but we're moving real slowly with that to see what's going to shake out there and just how things are going to go along. So we have been kind of working on that a little bit, and we've got a lot of things lined up for the summer. As well, so a lot of it'll be busy over at the fairgrounds from the KC Smoking and Steele. We've got 2 federated private events over there again. I've got about 6 or 7 wedding receptions on the grounds during the summer, and Brown Swiss National Brown Swiss Show right after the 4th of July, the Relay for Life, and so a lot of things. So we're utilizing the grounds, and it'll be kept busy, Lauren.
Okay. Fair Manager Jim Gleason from the Steele County Free Fair. We'll talk to him quite a few times, I'm sure, before the beginning of the fair. And that wraps it up for today here on AM 1390.